Get it? Like, dun dun dun. So, this weekend I finally took the plunge into Dandadan, and may I say, pleasantly surprised with how freaking good this manga is, especially after reading chapter 1. I was brought into an amazing journey, and I'm caught up now, and I kind of want to just bring you some thoughts. And if you want to go into a read of this series completely blind, I recommend it. I think it's a great series. However, I do recommend staying along for the rest of the video, just seeing some of my thoughts on the series and just hearing out why I think some people may be put off from it. But overall, a great series, and let's get into the thoughts on Dun Dun Dun. So Dandadan takes place in Kamikoshi City. We get introduced to two individuals, Kin Takakura and Momo Ayase, kind of two different sides of the same coin. So Momo's a pretty girl, the type of girl who's popular at school and kind of gets what she wants. She's got an attitude, and she's the type of woman who, is hard-headed, tough-witted. She's a bad chick. And Kin Takakura is, he's just like us. Just your average nerdy kid who not the most popular individual. People don't really know him or his name much, doesn't have too many friends, but as you begin to peel back the layers on this guy, you really start to like him a lot. And I say differing sides of the same coin because they both have interest into the supernatural world. Momo believes in ghosts and spirits, things of that like. However, Kin Takakura believes in cryptids, aliens, things of that sort. And what Dandadan actually does for us is introduces us to this world of conspiracy. Things throughout history, things throughout folklore, things denoted by other people all over the world throughout history are actually brought to life within this series. And we get to see that maybe both of them are actually right, following a chance encounter in that first chapter, which I'm not going to go too deep into. Both these characters develop a sort of power which they're going to use throughout this series, and it is a shonen, so we do have some fire action which I will be mentioning later, but that's kind of the gist of Dandadan and all I believe I need to really explain. I think if you hear me out on that part and it sounds interesting to you, that is what it is, and maybe it's going to be for you. But the next thing I want to talk about is the art. Yukinobu Tatsu is a very interesting mangaka. So I believe, if I'm not saying this incorrectly, he worked under Tatsuki Fujimoto in the production of Chainsaw Man's manga. So he's a highly touted guy. He's working under very promising and very great mangakas. So this series, I believe, and its art at least, you should respect it a little bit more than normal. And I say this because the art within this series is so freaking beautiful. I truly believe that Yukinobu is one of the best illustrators out right now. Each panel in Dandadan is so clear and so evocative of the emotions it's trying to display, and whether it be the smoothness and the beauty of Momo's ability being used in battle, or the ferocity of our boy Kin Takakura's being used, each of the panels is just so beautifully crafted, and you can just really tell the time and effort which he's put into this series. But just mentioning the battles is honestly doing this series a disservice. It's not just that, it's the character design, it's the settings which are created, it's the umas and the cryptids and the yada yada yada, their designs as well. It's just a very cool series, very unique art style, and it's like a kind of, I feel like, a mix between like that old age shit, kind of like a Saint Seiya type style, with very new age, poppy, flashy type of art, and it just looks really great. Great use of colors within it, great use of just shading and everything, dog. The movement within there, it just feels like a very agile, very sleek, very clear and just concise manga where, I don't know, if I was really just comparing it only at an art level, I'd say it's definitely within my favorites that I've been reading, and not just recently, but in a little while. But the characters don't just have cool designs within this series, they're also just very dope people. And I wish I could talk about a lot more of them, and maybe I can make some more videos on Dandadan just talking more about my feelings on a lot of the characters, but the only ones I want to talk a little bit to is Kin Takakura and Ms. Momo Ayase. Both of these characters are very different individuals, but as you get to know them, you just realize that they're these shy little kids who are two of the same people. They're both trying to figure out who they are as individuals. They're both trying to portray their emotions to others and trying to, be happy in a sense, but at this sort of little kid embarrassing level. Like, it's a very cute little relationship that they have going on throughout the series, and watching it develop is a very fun thing, I believe. Just seeing this sort of, I don't know, cute shit happening. And as I mentioned earlier, Momo's this tough ass woman. She doesn't take shit from anybody. She's a girl with an attitude. She's down to kick and scrap and fight with anybody. And Kinta Kakura, although he is, you know, the nerdy boy, if you look up the real actor Kinta Kakura, he's just like him. He's a hard-boiled individual who is down to protect anybody who he sees as if his friend or anybody who stuck their neck out for him. And this sort of innate sense of respect, an innate sense of just genuine niceness and kindness that he exudes just continuously magnifies people towards him in the series. And it's so funny just seeing how everybody starts to love some Kinta Kakura in their life. But you cannot talk about a shonen battle series and not mention the action, because the action in this series is surprisingly just so dope, dog. Like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you my consensus thought at the end, but Dandadan in all is freaking fun. The action within this series is just so chaotic and wild and out of nowhere, and you just feel like you're like confused while you're reading it. You're like, what could possibly happen next? You obviously know, but you just don't know when it comes to Dandadan. And I'm not even sure what I could compare the power system to within this. However, what I'm gonna say is it works really well for the series. It's not like people are abominably strong within it. People have very strict limitations within it, and people have very cool and crazy concepts of abilities, but like, they fight big battles and they fight hard battles. And one thing that makes the battles very interesting within it is that Yukinobu kind of sets up like One Piece type set pieces. And I'm not saying they're as grandiose and large as a One Piece set piece, you know, but they don't have that much time. It's not like we're writing hundreds of chapter arcs. Like, there's only 68 chapters of Dandadan out yet, I mean so far, but the set pieces that they do set up within the series really remind me of One Piece. You know, things just getting mentioned throughout the arcs and you knowing that like, oh, this is gonna play a part, and just seeing it all come to fruition and seeing Momo and Kinta Kakura and whoever else might be a part of the gang at the moment using these outside factors to try to tackle their goals in this situation is just a very cool thing to see. And just seeing how they are just hard-boiled, trying to get the task done, like very mature mentally young children right here in this series. But the action's very dope, the art's amazing, and I really gotta stress, this is one of the coolest parts of the series. But as I hinted towards a little bit, there's one gripe that I do have with Dandadan. Well, I guess maybe two. It's f***ing weird. Like you often see in shonen series, there are young-ass individuals being portrayed within the series, but there is a lot of lewd and promiscuous situations and themes and behavior which goes on. And, you know, I'm 23 years old. It's not my favorite thing to read. I kind of feel like a friggin' weirdo even reading it sometimes, but I think it's definitely something you can see past, and it's not something which is always in your face. Read over it, skip past it a little bit, but I gotta mention it beforehand. And it kind of ties into the first chapter. The first chapter has something occur during it that I really think some people would truly rather not read. And I can't even truly talk about it on YouTube, so you're sure you could give it a Reddit search or whatever the hell and you'd find a lot of information on it. However, I just gotta say that there's a weird situation. If you think Undead and Lux was bad, this one was way worse. But aside from it being weird in that sense, the lack of direction in the series is hilarious to me. It's not that it truly lacks a full-on sense of direction, it's just that like we're 68 chapters deep. They've obviously hinted towards some larger overarching schemes that are ongoing that we haven't even learned about yet. However, 68 chapters and all we are doing is chasing down something which you will figure out in chapters like 1 through 5, and it is really pointless and stupid that this is what they're doing still. Like, I can't lie to you. I wish the series had more direction in this sense, but it kind of is funny because it also plays into why I like the series so much. The reason why I like Dandadan is very simple. It's fun. Like, it is just a good read. It's funny as hell. It's fun as heck. There's amazing character interactions, there's amazing art, there's amazing situations ongoing, and overall, you just have a really good time reading the series. And its lack of direction almost helps it in this sense. A lot of what you love about Dandadan when you're reading it is just chapter to chapter, page to page. What jokes are they gonna throw out? What random stupid situation is gonna occur? What is Gigi finna do? What is Aira finna do? What is freaking Momo finna do? What is Kin finna do? What is Granny gonna do? There's just a lot of funny and stupid stuff that happens within this series, and you kind of feel like a true family is being developed, and there's just this stupid family sense of just bickering and eating together and just having a lot of fun together. But dude, overall, it's just like, it's really good. I can't lie. I cannot sit back and say that like the gripes I have with it outweigh the pros and the benefits of reading the series. Like, I think it is 100% one of the most interesting series out right now. Very unique one. And I think in terms of like a gag type series, it's probably one of my favorites right now. Like, I don't like to read gag series that much. Like, everybody loves One Punch Man, but that shit gets serious. I would love to see Dandadan get a little bit more serious and just see where the story could take itself. Because I truly believe like Yukinobu's got a gold mine right here. Dandadan's really dope. I wish it could get an anime adaptation. I feel like it's probably a bit odd to, just given the actual shit what occurs during it. Just because like there's some weird stuff in the series, and there's just some very precarious situations which characters are put in, and some odd themes which are consistently talked about. It's very edgy as well. There's a lot of curse words and shit within it, but dude, dope. Dandadan, dun dun dun. Let me know if you want some more content on the series. Would love to give you thoughts on any theories, because like obviously, like I was saying, some shit hinted at later in the series. There's just some interesting concepts within it, and it's a really fun one. Even just talk about characters, whatever the hell it may be, you know? I don't know. But no mangas for a couple weeks, so it's gonna be pumping out random videos. More to come. Stay tuned.